What's going on, guys? Like I said in my last review for Primate, I had a little bit of a double feature for the first weekend of January, and I went ahead and also seen We Bury the Dead. So I'm going to do a little review of that. Um, I had no expectations for this movie because I had no idea. I knew nothing about it. I never heard of it until I seen it on the list. So, and I don't think this is a super wide release. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but out of the three theaters that I have in my town, only one of them was showing it. So I don't know if this was a wide release, but it was a horror movie coming out on this weekend. So I was kind of I wanted to see it. I want to see more new movies. So um, I checked who the director was. It was Zach Hilditch, if I'm pronouncing that right. I didn't recognize it, but when I checked, he directed 1922, which I really liked. It's a really good Stephen King adaptation of one of his short stories, and I was surprised when I seen that. I really liked that movie. And then the only recognizable actor I see in it is Daisy Ridley, who played in the most recent Star Wars trilogy, which I did not like. But to be honest, I don't remember him that much because I watched those a long time ago and I hated him. So that's the only recognizable people from this movie that I know. I went in knowing it was a zombie movie, pretty much is what I read in the little description. I didn't watch a trailer or anything. But unfortunately, if you watch my Primate review, you may have kind of got this vibe. This is the bad January horror movie, at least in my opinion. I could definitely see somebody or some people liking this movie. Maybe someone who gets it a little bit more than me. But for me, this movie had the cardinal sin of movies, which is to me uh, it being boring. I think that's the worst thing a movie can be is boring, and to me, this movie was straight up boring. Pretty much all you have is Ava, which is the girl played by Daisy Ridley, um, joining the military. So when the movie starts, the breakout is already happening. It's already happened. It's never really, if I might not be remembering, but I don't think it's ever said how the infection started. Um, by the way, there's not anything original with the zombies. They don't really look original. It's kind of just basic. It's just zombies. They're there. But basically, the military is hiring people to start cleaning out cities, and she tries to join. I believe she's on the hunt for her husband. So we're basically just following her this whole movie. She's hunting for her husband, and she just runs into different people. So first she runs into Riley, which is played by Mark Coles Smith, which he was pretty good, but still these are kind of like dud characters in my opinion. There was like not a whole lot going on, which I mean I don't like to talk about characters all the time whenever I'm talking about horror movies, but I'll just throw that out there that they're kind of dud characters. She runs into him first though, and she starts working with him, cleaning out. They get split up, and then she runs into uh, the character played by Elijah Williams, I believe it is. And then they get broke up, and she runs back into Mark Cole Smith, aka Riley, in the movie, and then that carries on to the end of the movie. So there's not a whole lot going on in between, to be honest. It's just kind of meandering. There's a lot of slow parts. There's no hordes of zombies whatsoever. It's just one here and there. It almost feels like an independent horror film, which it might be. I don't know. I didn't really do my research into it, but to me, it just came off as super boring. It's just kind of meandering and riding on a motorcycle, then running into people, getting locked up into a cell, getting out. I mean, there's just not a whole lot going on. It just bored the crap out of me, and especially the ending. There was one good scene between Ava and Elijah Williams. I think that's the actor that played him. Uh, their little altercation that they have, I don't want to spoil anything because it's a brand new movie, but their little altercation was pretty good. But that was like the only type of tension or action in the movie, really, besides little spurts here and there whenever a zombie would break in. But other than that, and the ending was super underwhelming to me. Um, I don't want to spoil anything, like I said, but she's hunting for her husband, and you find out through a flashback. I don't think this is spoiling anything because it's near the beginning. But if you don't want any spoilers, I guess click off this video. You find out in a flashback that they got divorced before they were split up, so they were already divorced. And then the ending just kind of it just ends in the most predictable way possible, I guess. Which I don't know if I would call it predictable. It's just kind of boring and lame. Yeah, I guess predictable is not really the word for it. It's more just like kind of like an okay, like it ends and then you're just like, okay, that's it. At least that was my experience with it, and it just really kind of left a sour taste in your mouth afterwards. It was like kind of a waste of an hour and a half. Just super boring. I hate to say boring this many times in a video, but that literally sums up this movie for me. So it's definitely a slow burn. I could see maybe some people liking it, maybe some people that uh, find something that I didn't. But Ava, or I guess Daisy Ridley, is okay in the movie, but they don't really give her a whole lot to do with her character. She's just kind of wandering around, meeting people. Not very memorable. Not a very memorable movie at all. I honestly find myself forgetting most of it already. I find it hard to talk about because there's just not much to it at all. If you're a diehard zombie fan, maybe check it out to see if I missed something. But super kind of unoriginal. Nothing unique with the zombies. Nothing unique with the infection. Just kind of a bleh horror movie. That's probably why it was released in January, because on Google it says it's a 2025 movie, so I'm sure that it's probably had its troubles trying to get released. But anyway, if you guys do happen to go check this one out, let me know. If you haven't, I wouldn't go to the theater. If your theater's showing it, I would wait for streaming for sure. This feels like one that will go to streaming pretty quickly, probably like on Prime Video or something like that. So wait for it to stream, then check it out if you haven't already seen it. And if you have seen it and you like it, let me know down in the comments what you liked about it. Maybe I missed something. I really have no desire to rewatch this one, even when it comes out on streaming. But if I hear a lot of hype, maybe I'll rewatch it to see what I missed. But overall, I give it a 1.5 stars, maybe a 2 on a good day, but I'm gonna stick with 1.5 stars. Um, our first dud of the year. You always expect one in January. January never fails. We always get a super bad movie. Last year, I think it was Wolfman. Even though I liked it a little bit better than most people, it was still kind of a dud. And Night Swim, I think, or maybe that would have been the year before, maybe. Anyway, January is infamous for its bad movies, and it got one this year. That's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next one.